Hey guys. And that light. I always forget the light. Why do I forget the light? Weird. How you doing, guys? Hopefully you're all good. Is the multi-stream chat working? I don't know. It won't tell me. So I would have started a little bit earlier, but the dog decided a couple of minutes after to decide to go pee. So I have to deal with the dog. Bailey, stop it. What are you doing? Okay. Hey guys. Oh, I was meant to be muted. Why wasn't it muted? Okay, so we're going everywhere. Intended for certain audiences. May contain mature. Oh, right. Okay, that makes more sense. Let's just check. It's on everywhere. I'm live everywhere. Dog making funny noises. Hi, Wind Grace. How you doing, buddy? Just came from that old Yorkshire Geek stream. He was doing The Faculty. Good film. I keep feeling like there's a fly or something that landed on me. Weird. Hopefully the stream is good. It should be. Bloody well hope so. You get the feeling that there's a spider or something crawling on my forehead, and I don't know why. Weird. Weird. Oh, sorry, we're not talking about a certain person, are we? You decided to do time out of order today. I'm watching this before heading to the stream. Okay. Yeah. Keep hearing noises coming from the dog. Okay, so I got on one hand, I got the YouTube saying that there's an excellent connection, so the stream is excellent apparently. Told you Wind Race was on this. I can't say that word. Omniscient. He is a god. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying he isn't. It's just, I don't believe in God. So that's it. I'm going to lose all my viewers. Yes. So, are we all ready to go? Don't forget, guys, if you want to support the channel, at the top of the chat, there should be a link in the chat, depending on where you are, to where you can provide a tip. You're welcome to do so. But the greatest thing you can do for us, guys, is just hit that thumbs up, give us that like, and hit the subscribe button. And, yeah, share it wherever you want. That's important to do. But, in the meantime, let's watch Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more? Okay. Here we go. God believes in you. You can believe in me as much as he wants. It doesn't mean I'm going to believe in him. Or her. Or them, they. He also needs a starship, for your information. Ah, what does God want with a starship? Service guarantees citizenship. Would you like to know more? Alanis Morissetti is God. Saw it in a film once. A bird planet. That's why they took Alan Rickman. She needed her voice back. Yes. Johnny Rico. Yeah. Boo. Yeah, Rico. Pay attention. Dynamite. Oh yes. Uh, um, what was that horror film that she was in? I can't remember. I'll remember, but I can't think of it right now. Um, uh, no, I can't think of it for some reason. Denise Richards. I hate her character. And yeah, she was in the Saw films. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a slasher film. I just can't remember. Yep, she was in Bats too. I'll think of it. Don't worry. I just thought of it. Urban Legend. Ah, she was in Urban Legend. I think she was the killer in Urban Legend, actually. Spoiler. I think it was Urban Legend. I'm sure it was Urban Legend. I think the second urban legend film was the Bloody Mary one, wasn't it? Which is the supernatural one. Yep. In the future, Argentinians speak American English. Well, maybe at some point in this future they were invaded by Americans. Maybe America invaded Argentina. Maybe that's as a result of the Second Falklands War or something. No? Interesting. There is a reason for it in the book. Yeah. Maybe I should read the book if I bothered reading. I've still got the first three. I've still got the first three Expanse books that I haven't got past the first few pages of yet. So one of those starships is only 500,000 tons. Wow, that all? Or was it 250,000? I can't remember. She just said it, and I can't. Should be like the stainless steel rat, and they're speaking Spanish, Esperanto. Oh yeah. See, it's doing it again. Why do I keep getting the feeling that something's crawling on my head? The book is as far away from the movie as you can get. Yeah, there's no real true faithful adaptations from books to movies, is there? Yes, I haven't seen one. Not one that the people who have read the book would praise anyway. Must be a ghost tickling my forehead. Either that or a spider when I went outside. I mean, the purposely made this movie to make fun of the book. The game that actually came with the DVD of this movie of Starship Troopers is actually pretty good. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of Eight-Legged Freaks. Sorry, the Starship Troopers game was okay when that was around. I know they've got a new one, haven't they? Or fairly new one, kind of like uh, statistically speaking, you should have accidentally guessed right by now. The third movie is good for one reason. Oh, what reason is that? The Marauders. The third movie was Marauder, wasn't it? If you're talking about Starship Troopers, that's Jolene Blurlock. Oh, that reason. Should have realised. She did look good in that uniform. Goldberg mum, Cyrano. Jolene Blalock. I'll be in my room. Yet. Oh, look, they combine American style football with basketball, basically, don't they? Odd in Stargate. I think she looks quite nice in Stargate. No. I don't think the hair matched their skin tone either, but... Just throwing the goddamn bald is. Mm-hmm. Oh, and it looks like they also combined the basketball. So, not basketball, baseball. He's in there. Hmm. Okay, so it looks like we've got the same viewers from last night. How's it going, guys? At least the same amount. Say hi in the chat, guys, so we know who's there. It's a term of service. It's not a career. Just want to get out on my own. I accidentally closed Rumble. Better open that up, otherwise I won't see the chat. But where else are they going to get people to recruit to enlist? Well, that's good because you're going to Harvard, and that's the end of it. Zagama Beach. Good luck. It isn't there anymore. Factoid, they reused these uniforms for Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Also, a factoid that I would have thought would have come first is they also reused these uniforms in Firefly. I like to throw in the more useless factoids. Well, are they useless though? Jaddy, how come we never got together? Because we're not in a tent on an alien planet. Yeah, I also liked the Roughneck Chronicles. Thought they were quite good for 3D animation. Very old school computer graphics style. I knew that, Steve, actually. Paradise. It's a good song, though. I like the song. We won. Johnny Rico, you jealous? Oh, you hate Carmen, do you? I play one of the bugs. Let me guess, the one that made her throw up in class. Steve is actually in the background of one scene in this movie. Is that right? Yeah, poor Dears keeps looking at Johnny. Follows him everywhere as well. Followed him into the mobile infantry and everything. Next time we meet, I'll have to be I'll be having to salute you. Hmm. I remember the line. I couldn't remember, just not in the right order, the right words, same meaning. So they're able to replace his arm, but not his legs. You randomly have Archer's theme stuck in your head. Is that right, Grace? What's wrong with that? Would you like to know more? Fleet does the flying, MI does the dying. Yes. That's great. I'm wearing everything I own. So the only life in the galaxy are humans and the arachnids. Yeah, seems that way, doesn't it? Lying cow. She lies. Another lie. This is a fully automatic burrito. Who wants to hold it? And the only intelligent life are the arachnids. Yeah. Much of a trial. You probably are. Oh, Rico would fail. So they won't show. They wouldn't show the arachnid ripping that cow apart, but they will show people that have been ripped apart by him already. You love the scene where the big spitty bug says, "Rice, I am your father." Oh, Rico, I am your father. Sorry, I didn't read that right. Never laugh at the sergeant. Jesus Christ. See that armory? No, Sarge, because I've only just got here. I don't know what building's what at the moment. Mm. So they grown big and dumb on the farm planet, did they? Broken arm, that's no excuse. You should keep fighting. Honestly, you're going to be mobile infantry, man. Broken arm can't stop you. I wouldn't mind a faithful adaptation of the book. They use real big ass power armor like Halo in them. Yeah, they use the Marauders in the book like they do in the third movie, don't they? And they drive from orbit and land in cushioning gel. Yeah. Was that in? I think they showed that in Roughneck Chronicles, didn't they? Or am I? I might be remembering it wrong. I think they did. Hmm. That's exactly what she joined. You don't call him sir. He's a master sergeant. He's master sergeant, isn't he? Put your hand on that wall. The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand. Medic! Yeah, exactly. Don't call me sir. I work for a living. Exactly. Oh, nudity and I can't censor it. Oh dear. What a shame. This is not made for mature content. Mature for young children. Mature content may be. I think I have actually got it down as being potentially mature content, so shouldn't be any problems. Because the good thing is, you can't see it on the screen. Steve showed Boobs magazine. Now, if you were Carmen, wouldn't you be like, what the hell's Diz doing there? Boobs? You banners again. Sorry, wrong film. But that's what I felt that it was going to come into. It did. That bit does feel like they were going to start playing the Last Starfighter theme, right? Impossible maneuver. Even for an outstanding pilot, that's an impossible maneuver. The Roger Young. They worked on a first Starfighter movie starring Brie Larson. Really? They're working on it, are they? Love the space station. That goes all around the moon. Yeah. That's what the sort of thing they want to do to the moon. They want to turn the moon into like a hub, don't they? Surely Jennifer Lawrence. Hmm. Tell you what, they don't spend long in the academy in this film, do they? And he hasn't been in the fleet long enough to be an instructor, right? Ah, I see. You're one of that. You think that, do you? Because what they want to do is they want to put a spaceport on the moon, don't they? So that they can refuel, say, starships or any other capsule or rocket that gets created. It's going to land there, get refueled, and then head off to Mars or other places in the solar system. Which makes sense because they don't have to fight gravity. So if they refuel, they don't have to worry about it. Great. Scratch the paint. Almost. That's done. Just build your starship next door to Kirk on Earth. Yeah. Yeah. And then claim it wasn't a new ship. It was being refitted. Even though you could see people working on the superstructure and the hull in the same scene. Speaking of Starship, SpaceX are eyeing 14th of March for the third integrated flight test. Yep. Do I remember right that recently they had two starships at the pad? Almost like they were going to attempt the first restack mission, like because they still got to launch one and then land the booster and then refuel the booster, and then they still got to stack another starship onto the booster, haven't they? Because obviously it's going to be reusable, and the idea is that you use one booster section, you can launch multiple starships a day, right? So have they? Is that a test that they're planning soon? Also, speaking of Starship, we built this city on rock and roll. No, we didn't. We built this city on sausage rolls. Flip 6-3 ho on one. We all know the moon disappeared in 1999 after a waste accident. Never forget September 13th, 1999. I want to do a stream of watching Terra Nova because I really like that movie, that series. But not sure. Think I'm gonna go career. The problem with this movie is that you don't get a sense of time during their training and everything. Because 1 minute she's getting on the transport to head towards to the academy, and the next time we see her, she's in a shuttle going to go and pilot a starship. So you don't get a sense of time. It is a great. I think it's a great series. I've got it on DVD as well, but it's on Disney Plus. Yeah, it's condensed highlight real approach. Yeah. I expect you to do better. Yeah, it did end on the cliffhanger. Which is a shame. It's a really good show. The problem is, it was made at a point in time when people just, you know, when networks and that just didn't want a franchise, did they? They wanted new stuff to put on, but they didn't want a franchise. And Terra Nova could have made a really good franchise. They could have been at least. They could have done like 3 seasons at least. I reckon of Terra Nova. I mean, it was Fox. They've never allowed a sci-fi show to finish, except X Files, I guess. Yeah, but X Files at the time was so popular, wasn't it? It was probably one of the most. It was probably the most popular show at that time. When did Disney buy Fox? I can't remember. Was that around the time that Terra Nova was out? I can't remember if it was or not. Safety restrictions on live fire exercise. Death of a teammate. 2019. Hmm. Terra Nova had already been out, hadn't it? 'Hey, thanks for the follow. Direct Zero Gaming. Nice. Thanks. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Appreciate it. See, I heard it that time, Steve, because it's working. And the multi stream chat is working as well. Thank Christ, I was wondering about that. Yeah, they keep throwing these conceptual shows on. La Brea, Awake, exactly, exactly. I mean, why bother making La Brea when they could have carried on with Terra Nova, right? They always get cancelled without resolving. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I do think that if I've got the DVD somewhere, I think it actually has the game included on the disc. I can't remember. I think it does. That's something I might do. I might hunt that disc out and see if it has, because I'm sure it did for Starship Troopers. That is. Nowadays, seems like a lot are getting cancelled and delayed. Yeah, it is a shame. It's a huge shame. Although there is some hope with Fireflies. Be interesting to see where they go with that. But I mean, I wish someone would get on the move and start redoing or continuing with Space Above and Beyond, which actually which Starship Troopers actually feels a lot like Space Above and Beyond, right? Um, Windgrace and Steve, you'll probably understand that more than. We're a hell of a flight team. Yeah, I mean AI is an issue. Um, they didn't resolve it last year in the strikes, did they? So honestly, I think Firefly can only fail to meet expectations. Well, anything can fail to meet expectations, especially nowadays. As it stands, it's pretty much a flawless show that didn't have time to make mistakes. No, it didn't. To be honest, I don't think they would have made mistakes. I was going to say that Johnny and his parents remind me of the Nathan West, yeah, character in Space Above and Beyond. Exactly. I wish they'd continue Sarah Connor. Oh, that would have been great. Especially keeping if they could keep Summer Glau on. I mean, Summer Glau's amazing in that. Just as amazing as she was in Firefly and Serenity. Well, that's interesting. What was the last thing you remember seeing Summer Glau in? I mean, the last thing I saw Summer Glau in was probably uh, the Arrow. Yeah, I think the Arrow was the last thing I actually saw, or the most recent thing I saw her in. Uptime, commands. Yeah. Everything she's in gets cancelled before it should. Exactly. Just checking if you have Twitch commands set up. No, I don't. I haven't set up a lot with Twitch. I haven't really done a lot on Twitch to start with, but no worries. I'll be using it a bit more. I'll be using it more from now on anyway. Apparently she's in the show Woo Assassins. Yeah, you haven't watched it, neither have I. Doesn't look like it to me. War. Would you like to know more? Just check the streams, make sure they're all still going. Interesting. I'm looking at my live stream and I'm not seeing anyone other than Direct Zero Gaming on there for some reason. Interesting. Interesting. Why is that? Interesting. Refresh the chat, see if that helps. Not seeing any of the YouTube chats on the live stream. Interesting. Twitch is taking over the chat. It certainly seems that way. I'm also wondering where the other viewers are. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Hey, Johnny! Johnny Rico! Check to see if... It actually does seem that that Twitch has taken over the chat. Interesting. Whoa. Wow. All of a sudden, all of them started to appear. All of a sudden, they're all there. So for some reason, there's a delay. Interesting. So what I missed out on this in the chat. Let's go to the YouTube chat. There's one weird bug issue. Well, it is Starship Troopers. There are a lot of big bugs in this. Everything she's in gets cancelled, blah blah. Apparently, she is in the show with Assassins. Yeah, I remember that bit. I haven't watched it yet. I remember that. I wonder if what Zim did to get busted to private. Was it tearing up Rico's form, or did he punch his CO? Well, you got to assume that at the point where Zim comes in at the end and captures the brain bug or whatever. Spoilers. Uh, you got to think that it must be years, right? So, can't imagine what he would do. Maybe assaulting an officer, maybe he assaults a superior officer. That's a sure way to get demoted, if not kicked out. Uh, if this was Star Trek, only the Enterprise would save us from the bugs, as it's the only ship in the quadrant. Yeah, it's always the only ship in the quadrant. Section 31 word. Chat burst. Yeah. That was one with bug issue. Yeah, I read that. Have you eaten yet? Yeah, I ate earlier. Had a nice fry up. Star Shrek. Star Shrek. I like that. I like Star Shrek. I like the way it says death from above. They're infantry, so they're on the ground. So I like the design of the ships in these in Starship Troopers. But they drop from above. Yeah, that well, technically they don't in this. They land. So they don't really drop. I mean, it's no more of a drop than in Aliens, right? And as a reminder, Aliens will be the one I'll be watching next Thursday. Semantics. Shave that thing off your face, soldier. I don't know if Windgrace is saying anything. Last thing he said was section 31. Okay. I wonder if the movie had any removed content. I watched it a few times already, way back. Yeah, I think there is a fair bit of removed content. There always is. But I can't remember. Did they release an extended edition of Starship Troopers? I can't remember. And for Aliens, I wish Disney would have the director's cut of it. But they just don't. They only have the theatrical versions. Ah, this is on Disney as well. There are no director's cuts, right? Not. I don't think there are for Starship Troopers. I said several important and life-altering things. No, you didn't, because I checked. You said section 31, right? There's some deleted scenes. One with Carmen and Xander after she finds out Johnny's still alive. Yeah, there's not enough to justify it having a director's cut, though, is there? I like that. Break for high orbit and then go down towards the planet. And then it looks like they're going up. And an extra 14 minutes of shower footage. Wait, Grace, are you sure that's just not footage of you having a 14-minute shower? Speaking of, I need to play all the old Starship Trooper games before I play that newer game that has the same vibe. Oh, you're talking about it's Helldivers 2. It's the one you're talking about, isn't it? It's basically Starship Troopers, but with no copyright effects. It does look incredible, though. If I had a system that could handle it, I'd play it. I think that was Starship Hooters. There has to be something called that. Yeah, it probably is. Or you could replace this H with a C as well. Yeah. That's just an American slang. It's probably just an American thing. Come on. Yeah, they do still hold up even now. Hmm. So it looks like we're all good everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, all good. I mean, the effects for this film they'll last a long time, right? It's probably because there's a large amount of practical effects as well as CGI, right? Yeah, I think there are only three as well. I'm not sure. I remember playing the first one because I'm pretty sure that the first one you used to get a link on the DVD that would allow you to download it. I'm pretty sure. That's suddenly gone black and white. Are we watching Godzilla minus colour? I'd love to have been able to see that in the theatres, but it was only released in America and Japan, wasn't it? Bastards. Yes, Steve, where are all the factoids? Saint Extermination. Yeah, Starship Troopers Extermination, Terran Command, and Terran Ascendancy. Well, there must have been a fourth. There must have been four then. The factoids, the bugs ate all the factoids. Uh, Why would it be offensive? We know on our planet there are a lot of bugs that are extremely intelligent. Did they eat all the rotten berries as well? Probably. But we're not. The first time I saw this, I thought all of those ships were crashed onto the station, but I didn't notice the docking until the second time I watched it. I didn't notice all the little dock platforms. I kept thinking to myself, well, why would they land them on top of or crash them on top of the station? Like, really? Why would they do that? It turns out they didn't. They were docked the whole time, and I just didn't notice the docks. I was checking to see if the red-haired woman that got dragged off by the bugs was the same woman that got by the bugs by the Borg in First Contact. I think it was, wasn't it? She certainly looks familiar. She's been in DS9 though. Oh, it was DS9, was it? Hope they had all their dogs in a row. Not in a row, but everywhere else around the station, apparently. BAFTA. Yeah. Never mind, just went on a IGN website and turns out that there are 7 Starship Troopers. 7! Jesus. I've only ever really heard of 3. I think the third one was probably a most recent one where you can build the base. Kind of like Fortnite and Rust. You build the base. Roughnecks. Broad-chest roughnecks. Whoa! Ah, you do you? You do you, Steve? Segama Beach. I just wanted to go there. Good luck. It's not there anymore. Speaking of redheads in sci-fi, how about Dr. Sarah Gardner? Speaking of redheads, well, no, not speaking of redheads. Sorry, you got me saying it there. Speaking of doctors in sci-fi, how about that Dr. Jennifer Keller? What's crazy to me is that some people playing Helldivers 2 think that there were no official Starship Troopers games. Osiris. No. Well, thank God you, Steve. I'm glad you didn't say Hathor. Ugh. Why does he always play a badass? Yeah, maybe she did get a lot of work done. Sue Ann Braun is lovely. She was in a new Quantum Leap and looked very different. Well, she would look different. I mean, I still think she looks good. He plays a badass because he's Michael Ironside. Yeah, he was a badass all the way back in when he was in V, the original V. Um, yeah. I used to love V when I was a kid. Oh, Steve, I forgot to ask you back. Did you have a look at Something Is Out There on YouTube? The series is available on YouTube. The Scanners is real life. He blew a he blew a chap's head up in Scanners. Yeah. Now, developers of the Starship Troopers games see the popularity of Helldivers 2, they might make a remake or remastered version of those old games. Yeah. Well, Starship Troopers could make a comeback afterwards, you know, as a entire franchise, couldn't it? I can imagine it. I mean, Disney own it, so I can imagine it being Rico will be race and gender swapped, wouldn't she? When he? But yeah, I know the games. But if the games are popular, there's no reason they wouldn't make movies. I can see. Yeah, yeah, I can. Yeah, another movie. Yeah, yeah, they could make a good prestige series. Um, I mean, we there's a lot of sci-fi's that have been made that could make a really good show. I've always been all for, say, an Independence Day series, an animated series for Independence Day. I think that would be awesome. Um, what else? The remake of V was terrible. It was okay. Make it like a sci-fi band of brothers. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Sci-fi band of brothers. Yeah, definitely. You know what would actually do best as a sci-fi band of brothers? Space Above and Beyond. That would be so much better as a Band of Brothers style sci-fi, in my opinion. Another movie or an animated spin-off series or movie, all because of the popularity of Helldivers 2. Yeah, It would work. I don't think it has the name recognition with the general public though. Mm. Rico and his amazing sticky boots. Oh yeah, they're gravity boots. You know. So what I think they could do is they could do some Starship Trooper prequels as well, um, like the first war with the Arachnids, because this is I can't remember if there was like two wars before this with the Arachnids. As a franchise, I can see Star Troopers having been revived. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth a revival, and I think it would do so good, especially in today's climate. Don't salute. Yes, he was promoted, but he was promoted to an NCO. You do not salute NCOs. You only salute a sergeant when an officer is present. If they made it today, we'd be going to war because of President Crump. Lol. Hmm. Maybe. It's the future. Anything goes. Yeah, exactly. Once the developers from the old Starship Troopers games, or the directors from the Starship movies, sees the rampant popularity of Helldivers 2, we might be able to see a comeback of Starship Troopers. Certainly, yeah, definitely. I said Helldivers 2, it looks amazing. Let's check the other streams, make sure they're all up and going. Haven't missed any that haven't shown up? No, doesn't look like it. Let's check the streams. Well, I know YouTube and Twitch are working. X is still going. Rumble, still going. Just have to refresh Rumble for some reason. There we go. Cool. Ah, not a very good commander, is he? He's about having relations with a subordinate. Because if you think about it, there are a lot of real life variations of games through. Yeah, full game. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Direct. It's Dynamo. Yeah. I love you, Johnny. I'm honestly shocked they haven't tried to do a new Sliders. I wasn't that keen on Sliders, to be honest, especially with all the multiverse popularity and social commentary, and political alternate Earths they could show. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'll probably be more interested in a modern Sliders than I was in Quantum Leap. I couldn't get into the new Quantum Leap. Original Quantum Leap and Sliders were on the same world, but I don't mean to get off topic. Well, I mean, technically they wouldn't have been because the Sliders they're going from one world to another, right? Whereas in Quantum Leap he's only traveling through time, so he's not going to different worlds, is he? There was the recent live-action Borderlands trailer, yeah, which gets blocked in Russia apparently. And the Fallout series trailer, yeah, Fallout that starts on Tuesday, doesn't it? Next week. Twisted Metal action series. I've seen the trailer for that, but I can't remember when that comes out. The Avatar: The Last Airbender wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be, and One Piece live action series. Yeah, I saw that. That was actually pretty good. And The Last of Us. I didn't. I couldn't get into The Last of Us properly. Um, I will give it another try though. But I am actually looking forward to Borderlands and Fallout. To be honest, be nice to see. Twisted Metal did look good in the trailer. I don't know when they're supposed to be released. I can't remember. Well, I do know, but I just can't think of it right now. Bugs came in right when they were having chow, so. Windgrace started Last of Us and liked it. I'm kind of over that whole depressing wasteland future thing. I want optimistic future again. Yeah. It'd be nice to have some more optimistic future stuff. Um, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the Expanse because I know that they're talking. There's talks, and I know that Ty Franks is interested in writing for it. I think wasn't Ty Franks also sorting out a way to create a production company specifically for the Expanse as well, if I remember correctly. Hashtag Star Trek Legacy. I'd love it if they would make Star Trek Legacy, but at the moment it doesn't look like it. I know they keep saying, oh, it's going to happen. It's not really. Not anytime soon, anyway. When does Discovery come back on? When does Discovery Season 5 start? Star Trek Legacy is coming mid-2025. I have it on authority. Oh, do you? It's not... Well, have they started filming it now? Or are they still writing? April 14th. Not long now, then. Thursday. So next week, I'm going to be going back to episodic reviews. Because we've got Fallout starting on Tuesday. Discovery Thursday, apparently. Sorry, no, that's April. Sorry, I was a month ahead of myself. That was way ahead of myself. No, that is an inside joke. Twig announced it was coming on his channel, lol. Oh, right, okay. No, I can't remember. I'm going to check that. I just can't wait for the final season of Discovery to start so I can start making videos. I'm not particularly interested in the show itself. I just want to make videos for it. April 4th. The 4th of April. Okay. That's when Discovery starts. Plenty of time. Bugs! We got bugs! Oof. Give the man a head. Oops. I'm planning to drop an exclusive scene from Discovery Season 5 on my channel on April 1st. April Fools! Well, I hope you have a crazy pilot. Well, I wonder who they pick. You know what to do. So I guess we know what Windgrace is doing for his April Fool's video. dum dum dum. Here, make them count, and everyone's on full automatic. If you can be bothered to find the footage you're looking for, of course. Yeah, as if a pilot would be a better shot than an infantryman. Rico, you know what to do. One thing that always annoyed me with their rifles is that they don't have a sight on. Just think, if she didn't stop and turn around, she might have been alright. No. Yes. No. Yes. I think in reality you would be told, yeah, whatever you do, do not take it out. I don't think they're going to make it. Plasma bug. Nuke 'em. I'll say we take off and nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be certain. Yes, it is, because you stopped and turned around instead of keeping on running. Like, Diz, why is your blood pink? She's a Klingon. Ah, yeah. When she's coughing up blood, the legum phlegm. She should say, "Kiss me, Johnny." Hey, hell of a quote. If you could use any one other sci-fi weapon to fight these bugs, what would it be? A pulse rifle from Aliens. At least it has a little sight on the handrail. Hey Adrian, how you doing? I'm good, mate. How are you? I know I said Adrian, but it's Adrian, isn't it? Why the hell did I say Adrian? I'm good. It's Friday. Yeah, it's always good because it's Friday. A jumbo can of Raid. Hmm. It's 7 p.m. here in my area. It's 10 to 1 in the morning here on Saturday. Almost 8. Almost 8 where you are. Oh yeah. It's almost like Star Trek all over again. 2009. Skips multiple ranks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, we should have seen Zeb here. Maybe not as a roughneck, but we should have at least seen him. All blue-eyed. Hervel. Klopp. Starship Troopers, aka Space Fascists. It's a good job Rico starts with an R, isn't it? You know, in Starship Troopers, the civilization on Earth, it does seem very fascist, right? mean, Rico and Carmen and Diz, they're all from uh, Buenos Aires, and they were Americans, right? So they're white. They don't. So I suppose you could say in the Starship Troopers universe that fascism is the main political culture, maybe. Corporal punishment, public executions, public trials. It's very fascist. Although saying that, do you think do you think public executions and public trials are the right way to go? And corporal punishment, because I remember hearing that someone's calling out for corporal punishment to be brought back in. Mostly, I think it's mostly to do with uh, in, public embarrassment. Mostly, I think that's what their idea is. Well, in Rechik's class, he talks about the failure of democracy and the veterans taking over. Yeah, essentially a military coup. Yeah, basically. In the space where they have one emergency escape pod, they could have had about 10. I don't believe in corporal punishment or execution, but we don't have it over here. We don't have execution over here, so I think there's only one charge that will actually still possibly be punishable by execution, but mostly it will be life imprisonment, and that's treason. I think that's the only law, the only thing that we would ever execute someone for. But most likely, it will always be preferred to go life imprisonment. But in a fascist state, you can still live comfortably and have the illusion of freedom. Yeah, as long as you don't disagree with the state. Yeah, exactly. Since the Crime and Disorder Act 1998 became law, the maximum sentence for treason in the UK has been life imprisonment. Yeah. Well, that just goes to show that's when they changed the law to remove the execution from it. So, did your comment get blocked? What comment? Which comment? I don't see why it would have been blocked. You're a moderator, so you'd be one of the people that would get a notification to block it or not. I haven't seen any, not any alerts or anything. I haven't got any. My really hilarious joke. Which one? You refreshed and it disappeared. Did you hit send? Speaking of the treason act, um, I remember the days when if you burnt the Union flag, it would be considered treason. If you burnt the Union flag or the national flag, you would. The national flag of the England is actually the George Cross, by the way. For you Americans that may not understand that. The Union flag is the flag of the Union. Well, they can be considered a big deal. I've got to refresh my chat anyway. They can be a big deal to many people. You sent it again when Grayson it got removed again. Well, I don't know why it's getting removed because someone in the chat, any of the moderators in the chat would get a notification whether to block it or not. But a flag's a big deal. So yeah, it depends on you personally. Um, in the UK, but you know, we don't have, say, our schools don't have the flags everywhere. So we don't plaster the flag all over the place everywhere around the country. They're only outside government buildings and stuff like that mostly. Especially government buildings and local councils, I think. I think the thing the thing about the UK is a lot of the time it's like we're not allowed to be proud of our nation, if you know what I mean. Not publicly, anyway. Apparently, it's a bad thing sometimes. I have a Yorkshire flag in the background behind me in my stream and videos. Yeah, that's a county flag though. That's the equivalent of say um, someone from Texas having the Texas flag in the background. It's the same thing. Let's see. Can I remember the Yorkshire flag? Is that the white rose? Is that the Yorkshire one, or am I getting it, or am I wrong? It's still a flag, yeah. Yeah, it's the white rose. The War of the Roses, eh? But just at the moment, in the UK, we're not allowed to be proud of our own country for some reason. We're not allowed. Just the other week, we had, I think it's there was a march, a pro-Palestine march, and there was a guy being recorded, ex-military, and he was shouting at the police, and in the background behind the police, we don't see it on camera, but behind the police, the pro-Palestinian marchers were actually burning the Union flag, which technically would be treason, and the police are just standing there doing nothing, stopping the what they consider to be counter protesters when it was just people that were just sick and tired of seeing the Palestinian flag being flown everywhere. In fact, someone would probably have to confirm this, but I believe that there is actually a law in the UK that states that you're not allowed to fly a a foreign nation's flag in the UK. I might be wrong. I'm not sure, but I mean, in America, you can burn the American flag. I didn't realise that. It's not illegal to burn the Union flag just as long as it's yours. Well, that's the grey area, isn't it? Yeah, I know that. I mean, it's supposed to be lower than the American flag. I know that. And I also know that if you fly the American flag upside down, it's the American sign of distress, isn't it? I think that's a military thing. No, I think that's to symbolise soldiers in distress or something like that. I think it's highlighted in that film. What's that film? I can't remember the name of the film for some reason. Well, they're in a military prison, and an officer gets sent there, and the whole thing is the prison. Everyone in the prison, they rise against the officer that's in command of the guards, and they purposely try to flip the American flag upside down on the flagpole to show any other military personnel outside that there are soldiers in distress, which I thought was a good thing. Wow, that finished. That's finished. I'll take these off now. Right. Oh. I mean, they always change the rules and the laws to suit themselves anyway, don't they? The times. Not to allow you to be proud of your country enough to fly the flag. But, you know, if it upsets people, then you're not allowed to do it. In fact, if you build a flagpole in your garden, your back garden or your front garden, if it goes up past a certain height, which is usually the roof of your house, you have to pay a licensing fee to be allowed by your local council to fly the flag above your house. That's true. I didn't know that. Well, yeah. And that, in fact, you can actually fly the Union flag upside down as well. The Union Jack flag. A lot of people call it the Union Jack, but it's only technically the Union Jack flag is only the Jack when it's flown at sea, basically on a ship or a boat. You're allowed to fly a kite, of course. It's almost like the laws get changed so that you're not allowed to be proud of the United Kingdom. But, you know, that's a political thing. I don't want to get into that sort of stuff. I know I've been talking about it a lot, but it's a slippery slope, isn't it? So, yeah, that's the film finished. Let's go fly a kite up to the highest heights. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring. Yeah. I'll put it this way, right? I was, I got told, um, in secondary school, high school, they give us our textbooks, right? And it's just a blank book. It's got a paper cover, right? And they say, right, everyone starts decorating it. And I'm just like, leave it as that. I put my name on it and what class it's for. That's it. And I remember handing the book in for the teacher to mark the work that was in there, because it was like one of the textbooks that we take home, and one of the notebooks that we would take home and we'd do our homework in, and then you hand it in, they'll read it, and that. And one of the notes that she put in was to decorate the cover. So I decorated the cover. I drew a Union flag on it. That was a mistake apparently, because drawing the Union flag on the cover, oh, okay, really, Chris. Drawing a Union flag on the cover apparently was viewed as racist. It's like, well, it's not the George Cross. The George Cross is the English flag, which is used as a representation for the old BNP, which is the British National Party, which was well, no, sorry, BN. Uh, well, so basically, it was the Nazi the Nazis in the UK used to use it for purist reasons. You know, white background, red cross. And so ever since they adopted our national flag, the George Cross, it's been viewed in a racial way. Whereas it's not actually a racist flag; it is literally the flag of England. So then we started using the Union flag more as a national flag, despite it being a representation of the Union of the Kingdoms. So it's a representation of every country that makes up the United Kingdom. We're not allowed, you know, if we fly the George Cross, 9 times out of 10 we'll get accused of racism and basically be forced to take it down because people view it as a racial symbol. Kind of like the swastika was for the Nazis. They took a symbol that represented peace in a different religion, and they bastardized it basically to represent the Nazi party. Right? It's the same thing. So we're not allowed to be proud of England, and we're not allowed to be proud of the United Kingdom. But other people are allowed to have weeks or months where they can be proud of being a member of the LGBTQ community. But we can't show pride in being British, which I think is a complete bullshit thing. We got so in America you've got freedom of speech, right? Well, we technically we do have freedom of speech, but it comes under the freedom of expression, which covers a much broader thing, which includes all of the right to protest and the right to assemble, that's all that stuff, everything that's involved in that. But at the same time, it has to be acceptable behaviour. But the problem is, I mean, we're seeing now that it doesn't matter. No one cares about that the rules anymore and the laws. Apparently, it's considered acceptable behaviour to put the Palestinian words, you know, the from the river to the sea, that sort of stuff, on the side of basically on the side of Parliament, the actual party, you know, Parliament House, you know, the Houses of Parliament. They're projecting it on the tower of that, and we have the right party, but only after we fought for it. Yeah. But we have even the Just Stop Oil. They're disrespecting our historical uh, achievements. It's like there was a guy who got extremely pissed off. He really got angry that there were Just Stop Oil protesters, and they were putting bags of rubbish up against the pedestal, which supports a statue of Winston Churchill, the guy that actually, you know, brought this country through a dark place, you know, the Second World War, through dark times, to allow them to have the right to assemble and protest and everything. So that he basically made it possible for them to be able to do what they're doing, but they're disrespecting him by throwing bags of rubbish at his feet, essentially. And you know, someone wasn't happy with that. And I don't blame them, to be honest. I mean, they were doing it all over the place. I mean, Just Stop Oil. It doesn't matter who they are. They're disrespecting our historical heritage, and I think it's disgusting. I mean, yeah, okay, protest. Get your, you know, do your thing. Do what you need to do. You want to protest on behalf of Palestinian people. You want to protest on behalf of Just Stop Oil. Do it. Just don't disrespect the heritage that your, you know, members of your family in the past may have even fought and died in a war to protect. You just don't disrespect the heritage, because that is important. You know, we learn from our past, right? And a lot of the stuff that we go through is incorporated into us as a people. He has done some great things. It's complicated. I mean, if you view Winston Churchill and a lot of people from that period through modern day eyes, so if you're looking through the modern lens at someone like Winston Churchill, yes, you're right. He would be considered a bigot. He would be considered a racist. But at the time, it was different. Life was different. The way of life was different. Education was different. Everything was different. So we judge them by their achievements, not by who they were as a person. It's what they achieve. That's the important thing, right? That's right. That's why we have so much love for the royal family. It's not because we want to be ruled by a monarchy, because, well, really, truly, we're not ruled by that monarchy, right? We're ruled by corrupt political officials who are voted in by some people, because I don't remember voting after these MPs into Parliament, where they choose amongst themselves who they want to run for Prime Minister, and then the only thing the Prime Minister has to do with the King or anything is a weekly meeting, and when a Prime Minister first on the Prime Minister's first day, essentially, he has to go to the King or the Queen, but I say King because we've got a King now. He has to ask for permission from the Crown, which would be the King or the Queen, to create a government in his or her name. So other than that, there's not a lot that the royal family can do. I believe the royal family can still declare war on a foreign nation. They can kick a prime minister out. Actually, the king can actually dissolve parliament as well. So there's that possibility. But then, no, they won't do it. They haven't got the balls to do that anyway. It's our responsibility to deal with the political parties, basically. But we don't bother because we're British. We stiff up a lip and all that stuff. So we don't do that. We don't do what we have to take care of our country. And it's a mistake. It's a shame. It's a shame that we can't stand up and get for our own national values. But yeah. They tore down many of our statues over the past 10 years also. We actually have statues of Americans as well. We have George Washington. I think we have Abraham Lincoln in London as well. We have a couple of statues. We have statues of them as well. So it's not just our culture that we have represented in London. It's an American culture as well, historically. So yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's going to be it. I don't want to go I don't want to go into politics anymore. So I'm going to call it there. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to support the channel. You can provide a tip by clicking the link in the description below. There may or may not be a link in the chat. It is a very complicated topic. Okay, no problem. Yeah, you have a good night as well. And yeah, please do hit the like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And till next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and may the Schwartz